Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Cassandra. I am the witch, the spiritualist, the founder and creator of Magic of Eden. I am so happy to have you here, and if you guys are returning, what's up family? Y'all already know the deal. It's always good to be in good love and have vibes and a good spirit with you all. So today's video is going to serve as a pick a deck reading, or actually pick an object reading for the Aries new moon. If you guys need any information on the Aries new moon, I did upload a podcast episode. It's available on Spotify. It's available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, RSS, I think it's called. But yeah, anyways, you can find the episode on there, and I will also make sure to link everything down in the description box for you, just in case you guys want to work your magic, or not even just work your magic, but kind of listen to my insight to see what you may need to hear. So I definitely do invite you guys down. So I already started shuffling the cards, and before I get into the video, I actually want to let you guys pick your object, and I'm just going to do it now. So anyways, for the first deck, we're going to be using our object, which is the cauldron, which I absolutely love. It's a little rusty right there, but that's okay. She's still cute. She's still cute. So we have this cauldron here that I was using actually like not that long ago to do some work, and I loved it. Oh man, so beautiful. And then deck number 2 is going to be the skull here, which is my baby. I absolutely love it. For any of you guys that don't know this, I am a Capricorn. I have a ninth house stellium in the sign of Capricorn. I also have a trine in the earth signs, and so I am very drawn to fire and earth energy, of course, as you can tell, and I love bones. So this is definitely my baby here. I love skulls, bones, things of that sort. So anyways, and then last but not least, we also have this Florida water here, this OG Florida water. And yes, and I've also got some hand dipped incense here, which I love to death. Oh my God, let's just take a moment and just kind of like look at how beautiful, like, oh my God, they're so juicy. They're so juicy. Like, come on now. Can you guys see that? Can you guys see how juicy they are? Like, you see that oil? Okay, I'm done. I'm done. I got some burning already. So yes, I hand dip these myself. I don't make the actual incense part, but I do dip them. So anyways, we're going to be working from Tarot of the Divine. I will make sure to have this link down in the description box. And then for your Oracle decks, we are going to be working from the Tarot of Sexual Magic. Oracle deck, Oracle cards, Sexual Magic Oracle cards, and then we also will be working from Wisdom of the Oracle. So yes, definitely completely different vibes, but it's okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with the reading. All right, you guys, so if you chose deck number 1, this is your reading, or if you chose object number 1, this is your reading. Spirit, I set the intention that the person listening to this, or the people listening to this, are safe in good hands. I'm already receiving a download. I just heard the word intentions. I set the intention that whoever's listening to this receive the message that they need to hear today. What is it that you have for deck number 1, Spirit? I just heard set your intentions. What is it that they're setting their intentions for deck number 1? I just heard that you are being called to work your magic. Spirit, can you please elaborate on this? I keep hearing to put forth your energy. I heard the word confiscate. I just heard I'm leaving. Like I'm leaving. Like I'm going somewhere. Okay, the energy feels a little chaotic. I invite you guys to The energy does feel a little chaotic. It feels, but it also feels very hesitant. There's this element of darkness that I'm sensing. There's this element of darkness that I'm sensing. With the first, I just heard a quiet place. Like you need a quiet place to. You need a quiet place for the working is what I just heard. I don't know why I'm hearing that, but wow, that of course you would. Okay, so the first thing that I want to say about the reading here is that the cards that you got first were the Fool. Here, as you can see, the Fool, you have the Six of Swords, you have the Four of Wands, you have the Six of Wands in reverse, right? And then you also have the Ten of Cups in reverse. You have the Knight, the King of Wands, excuse me, and the Queen of Swords. I just heard there's this leveling up of some sort, or like this leveling up, or that you need to level up. And now the song by Sierra, I think it's called Level Up, is coming through. That's so interesting. And like there's something about that beat that feels very like, it speaks to the, I just heard that it speaks to your rhythm. Like there's something that's speaking to your rhythm. It's like you're trying to get your rhythm back, because it almost kind of seems like you guys, or some of you guys, are in a space where you didn't feel fully fulfilled. And it's not the fact that there was something or someone that was causing you to feel this way. If anything, it's almost kind of like you just kind of felt like something was missing, like there was like a missing piece, and you really couldn't tell exactly what it was, but you knew that something had to change. You knew that something needed to be swept away. You knew that something needed to be sacrificed. You knew that something needed to be set to the fire. And I'm, for whatever reason, and being drawn to like a fire pit for whatever reason. It's like I'm seeing like a fire pit, and they took like this note that they wrote like a petition on possibly, and then they folded it, but it looks like they're throwing it directly into the fire. And there's no water, but it's just pure fire. Like you took this intention, and I'm seeing like a chimney, or like a chimney. I don't really know how to pronounce it, like a chimney. And there's like this wood in the chimney, and then you take that note and you throw into the fire. It's so interesting because I do see this group specifically working. I just heard the words internal happiness. So it's like something was missing, but it wasn't, I just heard that it was the passion that was missing. It wasn't something that someone else did. It was more so you needed to find, you needed a quiet place, because you needed to figure out that the missing piece or the missing link was your internal happiness, was this internal passion. And although the Ace of Wands isn't here, I do feel the Ace of Wands energy, where it's like you're looking for that spark. And Spirit says when you start to write that petition or set your intention, it'll come out, you'll conjure it. Like this feels like a conjuring. Like a conjuring of passion. Conjuring of passion is what's coming through. And it's interesting because you do have the Fool card here, and you have the King of Wands and the Four of Wands. You have quite a bit of wands here. You've got a lot of air, water, and fire. You don't have like a lot of earth. So earth is not here, but I feel like the earth element would be needed to help to ground you, right? To help solidify you. And I feel like when you do set that intention and you throw it to the fire, I feel that whatever you're setting your attention for should be something of permanence or substance, or it should be something that is permanent and sustainable. That's something that you're setting your attention for. There is something that you may have your eye on, or that you may feel like once you do conjure it, it's something that's worth celebrating. It's something that's worth, I just heard that it's something that's worth showing off or showcasing. And I just heard Spirit say, be very deliberate as to what it is you're saying and as to what you're setting your attention for. Be very deliberate and leave no crumbs. There's this element of like being very specific and leaving no crumbs. Like she ate and she left no crumbs, or he ate and he left no crumbs, or they ate and they left no crumbs. Like this is you literally making sure nothing is left out. I don't know why Spirit is saying that, but there's also this element of spontaneity, of doing something spontaneous. For whatever reason, I just heard this is a working. Some of you guys are really being told to tell you to work fire magic. Like, it feels like fire magic is being worked here. Like, for whatever reason. I also do kind of feel like you guys are leaving from this element of like darkness and stillness, and like once you do conjure up that passion or that fire, you then can expect yourself to kind of maneuver or maneuver into this new space that that's been missing, that you've been longing for, that you've been wanting. I don't know why, but I just heard wedding bells and jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle bells rock. That's funny that song is coming through. It feels like some type of like this brings, I don't know why this is drawing me to like the 60s and like the 50s and 60s, and it feels kind of vintage. Like, this feels vintage. I don't know why. And I'm seeing like something in like why am I picking up on that? Like, what is the significance of that? Spirit says that if you travel back in time, there was something specific about that time that you may have seen, or there's something about that time that Spirit is saying to go back in that time and study it or look for the clues there. That's really specific. I would not be surprised if only like one person resonated with this, but there's something about like going back in that time frame. And I just heard the word ancestor. You may have had an ancestor that lived at that time who's giving you hints and clues as to what you can set your attention for, or as to what you would need in order to help you manifest, or magnetize this, or manifest this thing that you're wanting to manifest, if that makes sense. I know I'm like using like repetitive words, but that's just how it's coming out. There's something about an ancestor specifically from like this between the 50s and the 80s, specifically the 50s, and maybe even before. But there's something about this energy, this older like energy, that wants to help you manifest this thing, that wants to come through for you. I don't know why that's coming through, but that's what it feels like. I just heard the words Nana, like my Nana would have loved this for me, or my Nana would have loved to see this for me. So this is kind of like grandmother energy. That's very specific, and wow. Okay. Well, there's that. So basically, I do kind of feel like with this though, is that this is definitely a reminder that you, in a sense, I also kind of feel like you're out of a space where you're leaving this space where you're no longer following. You're actually stepping up to the forefront to be more of a leader. I feel like you've prioritized your internal happiness and things like that. And as a result of that, you're now moving on to different things. You're moving on to better things. But I also hear Spirit say to use your discernment. Very strong discernment here. You have a fire king and an air queen here. So I do feel like there's this level of like intuitive understanding, but your intuition is like the fuel and it's like the antenna that receives the message from the divine, and then your intellect, your logic, it says, okay, this is where I can place this is what makes sense to me. But this is also a non-negotiable. I will not be swayed or change my mind, because I know that this is something that will bring me the fulfillment, or help me tap into the fulfillment that I want. I also feel that with the Six of Wands here in reverse, I feel like you define what success looks like in your life. This is not something that you should be going outside to seek. Like, you have the power to set these intentions, and you call the shots on what success looks like for you. It's interesting because I feel like with the symbolism of the cauldron, it's this space, this womb space in which something is being born. It's fertile. It's being fertilized. It's being nurtured, and it's within you, and it's dark, but it's being nurtured. And when you put the fire in there, it takes all the elements of what you want, and it's being burned, and then the smoke goes up to Spirit. The smoke is like the message being sent out to Spirit, while everything is in the womb space being protected, being nurtured, being brewed. And that's something that I really do love for you guys. So whatever this thing is that you felt was missing, conjure that, send the message over to Spirit, send the message directly to Spirit, and understand that, again, you call the shots on whatever this looks like for you. That's the message that came through for you guys. Spirit, is there any other message here that you have? That's so interesting. Okay, so the last message that Spirit has as far as the tarot cards are, you have the Page of Coins here, you have the King of Cups, you have the Knight of Cups, you have the Queen of Coins, there's the Earth right there, and then you have the Five of Swords. This feels like planning. Like, it really feels like a plan. What is the game plan? What is it that you, like, what... I feel like for you guys, when you're setting your intention, there's something about like a list being made. So make a list as to what you're trying to manifest. And then from that list all the things that are required for that thing. And then after that, list what it is you need to do in order to get that thing done. For example, if I said, I want to open up a shop one day, or I will open up a shop one day, that is my intention, to open up a shop. Okay, what is going to be in the shop? Okay, I will sell incense, hand-dipped incense, herbs, oils, fixed candles, Florida waters, conjure oils, beauty oils, or whatever, or sage, or which I probably would be calming down on selling sage, but that's a different story. Palo Santo or sweetgrass or whatever. I will sell all these spiritual essentials I would possibly need. Okay, now what do you need to do? Well, first I need to make sure that I have the fundaments, I have the research and the knowledge to even be doing this working. I need to make sure that I know what I'm doing. I need to make sure that, not only do I need the funds, of course, but that will come later. Where will this store be located? What do I need to do? I need to research areas. I need to see how far do I want to take this. Like, there's so many things that go into it, and Spirit is saying there is a plan that is needed. But also rest assured that when you're doing it from a space of knowing what you actually do want, knowing what you want is going to actually help you propel you forward. So knowing what the intention is and keeping your eye on that target and really being secure and stable in what it is that you know, that's what's going to help you propel forward and be successful in this different arena. There's something about the element of planning, but not even just that. For whatever reason, I just heard the word security. You have a queen who is an earth sign, and a queen who is swords, who is air. And then you have two kings here. You have a king that is water and a king that is fire. So to be honest with you, you literally have all four elements here. And the interesting thing about these four elements is that the emotional aspect would be masculine, and then the intellect would be feminine. So what that's telling me is that not only are you using your discernment for these different things, you're also making sure that you're doing it from a space where your emotions are secure and your emotions are not chaotic. Remember at the beginning when I said, oh, the energy feels very chaotic. There's this element of stillness that is needed to ensure that when you're working your magic, it's very intentional, and you're not doing it from a space of desperation because of you not having, or because you feel like you may not ever get it again, or because you are traumatized. Spirit is saying if you feel that way, draw yourself back and make sure that you are rooted and secure in your feelings and your emotions, to make sure that you are in a space where you can actually even nurture the dream that you have, where you can nurture this thing that you have, but also using your discernment and also implementing the passion and the fire exactly where it's needed. So this feels like a lot of passion being directed into a very specific intention. This feels like the Magician card is not here, but the Magician card feels very near right now. And so that's the energy that I do get. Also with the Nine of Wands here, make sure that you don't put yourself in a situation where you feel like, or don't believe that you have to kind of block yourself, or that you have to do this from a space of defense, if that makes sense. Like, I just hear Spirit saying, don't be defensive. Try not to be defensive, because you being defensive is what's going to cause the blockage. Sometimes our defenses are definitely needed in a sense, but in this sense, Spirit is saying, let your guard down just a little bit. Just a little bit. And that's why discernment is key. Okay, Spirit, let's take a look at the sexual magic here. What do we have? I love this for you guys. For real, though. So we're going to shuffle from our sexual magic oracle cards. I just heard surrender to the fire. Like, surrender to the fire. Let the fire be the guide. What does that mean, Spirit, when you say let the fire be the guide? I just heard something about scrying into the fire. Revelations revealed through fire. Wow, leaving. Interesting. Remember we talked about that. We said that like you're leaving from somewhere. That's so interesting. And then you have, this is Capricorn leaving. This is you like actively getting up and leaving. Like you actually saying, you know what, this is no longer good for me. This is bringing me the Six of Swords energy almost. Although the Six of Swords is really a mental thing, obviously, but this also can be considered you packing up and going. Not in a sense where you feel like you have no other choice, but this is the choice that you're making because you know that it's good for you, right? Versus like the Five of Pentacles where you kind of feel like, oh, I feel lost. I feel like I don't know where I'm going. No, you know where you're going and you know that you're leaving and you know that there's nothing anyone can do to stop you. There's something about that element as it pertains to relationships, but also as it pertains to whatever kind of partnership. 7th house energy, one-on-one partnerships, that's coming through right now. So keep a look at, just take a look at your chart to see what's up with that. But yes, that is what that feels like. And then of course you also do have truth here. Let the truth be told. This is Aquarian energy. It's interesting because it does bring me to the Fool card. The Aquarian energy, it says, look, for whatever reason, this truth is making me think like, what is it? It's like you're calling it into question. You're calling something into question. And it's like, this is the truth. This is undeniable. This is fact. I know that I know that something is missing and I know that the truth shall be revealed. Once I leave the space that I'm in right now, that truth shall be revealed. The truth will be revealed exactly for what it is. And I trust that. So that's what I feel coming from that. And then of course, our last, you guys, I don't know why this reading is going, I don't know, this reading is going a bit smooth, but I don't want it to feel rushed. I don't feel like I'm rushing. I just feel like get a groove on. Like that's what I just heard Spirit say, get a groove on it. Get a move on it. Just get your move on. Like that's all you need to do. It's kind of like that thing where it's like, okay, next, okay, next, okay, next, okay, next. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I got things to do. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know why that analogy is coming through, but it's like you have things to do. Like you got shit to do. So Spirit, what is it that we have in these? Okay. New life. I love that. I know y'all seen that come out like that. New life for deck number 1. Which I love that because in this womb space, it's you are literally creating new life. The life that you want is in the intention that you're casting to the fire. And that's why I love the cauldron for you, because it's like the new life that you're setting intention for, which is interesting because it is a new moon. So this new life, fucking brilliant. I love it. Milk and honey. Any other messages, Spirit, from this? I just heard Spirit say no. I'm going to stop shuffling. I'm not going to keep shuffling. So you have new life in here and you have milk and honey. I feel like with new life and milk and honey, this almost kind of brings me to the energy of like, you've seen the worst, you've seen the storm, you've seen hell. It's time for you to see heaven. This is bringing me to a balance. It's like you need to balance. You need to be balanced, and your life is ready to be balanced because you've seen such horrors. Spirit is like, okay, let us have you see something that's worthwhile. Like all of it in a sense was worth it because you needed something to understand and to learn, but you experienced the polar opposite of this thing. And so now what is being called into truth is that now you're in a space where you actually you're going to start experiencing new life, new endeavors, new whatever. So this could be a new passion, a new job, a new relationship, whatever. I do feel that number ones are going to experience this newness as a result of working their magic. But this is not magic that you work one time only. This is something I just heard Spirit say you do this on a weekly basis. And I'm being told to just say that and then let that just kind of be what it is. So to the people that chose number 1, I love you guys. I really hope that it resonated. If it didn't, I am terribly sorry about that. I hope that you take what is needed and that you leave what doesn't. If you guys need anything from me, you guys can visit me online at magicofeden.com. You guys can also follow me on Instagram at magicofeden. You guys can find everything that you need linked down in the description box. The Apothecary is expanding. I appreciate all of you, and if you need anything from me, just don't, just feel free to hit me up. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. All right, if you guys chose deck number 2 or object number 2, we are going to be working with our skull baby here because we love it so much, right? And I'm going to go ahead and start to shuffle your cards. Spirit, thank you so much for being present always. I just heard the word resurrection. Thank you so much, Spirit. Scorpio energy, death. Death. I just heard something about death. Obviously, I would say that because the skull is here, right? But there's something very significant about that. A rebirth. A phoenix. What? Okay, let me stop. I'm channeling right now. A phoenix. A rebirth. A crow. I see a skeleton. I see the Rose of Jericho. Resurrection spell. Resurrection. There's a resurrection. There's an awakening. The awakening of Christ 3 days after. That's very symbolic. After 3 years, you will awaken. This is the 3rd year you're awakening. 3 days, something happening in 3 days time. 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years time. Jupiter brings his blessing. I'm seeing a crocodile on top of like water. The snout is visible and the eyes are visible. It's very still. There's someone on this bed where the crocodile lives, and the crocodile is uninterested. It's just sitting there in the water, just chilling. There's this element of the stillness and death. I just heard this is inevitable. Don't be afraid. This is inevitable. This is a metaphor. Don't be afraid. This is your time. There's something about Anubis, the protector of the underworld, the one who gives you permission to pass through the underworld. There's something about your deeds being weighed against the feather. It's even. The scales are even. The scales are evened out. This is your rebirthing. This is your resurrection. Okay, you guys, we're going to continue on with the reading. All right, Spirit, thank you so much for thank you so much for protecting the person or people listening to this channel. I want to go back and listen to number 2, to the second deck, because that was really, really interesting. That was so interesting. I can't remember obviously everything that was said there, but I remember certain things, which I don't remember all of it, but it is what it is. That's what happens when you channel. But anyways, so you have the full card here. You have the 6 of coins here. I just heard Spirit ask, how much are you giving to your spirituality? How much are you giving? Wow, that's crazy. Crossing over. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, I just get these chills. I'm getting crazy chills, and it's warm in my home. I'm getting really chills, right? I'm getting fucking wild chills right now, and it's interesting because I feel the presence of spirit. I feel the presence of the spirit world right now. I feel the presence of spirits. I feel the presence of those who have passed on. Something about someone who has passed on. Okay, so take this with a grain of salt. You know, this may resonate or it may not, but the messages sometimes comes in a form of chills, where you'll feel like this sudden brush of coldness. I'm sensing something about the sudden brush of coldness. It's almost kind of like you feel like a draft, but it's not an actual draft. It's not anything that you can interpret with the logical mind. You would have to use your intuition for this one. This is someone who does not take these kind of things lightly. They normally follow their logical mind, but Spirit is saying your logical mind is going to lead you astray. Spirit is telling you to let your intuition awaken. This death-like experience that you're going through, for whatever reason, I feel like is leading. I just heard that it's leading you to the afterlife, but this afterlife, in a sense, is what's happening after, what's happening after this moment now. The other life, the afterlife after this one that you're going to, this is not a literal thing. This is a metaphorical thing. I want to re-say that again. This is a metaphorical crossing over. This is you crossing over from one state to another. This, for whatever reason, also feels like you crossing over from one consciousness to another. It's like altered states of consciousness is coming through. You're able to see the unseen. You're tapping into this unseen. You're tapping into your ability to see the unseen, to communicate with the unseen. Someone's gifts are awakening here. Like, this feels like an awakening of gifts. This feels like someone who has a very close and intimate relationship with death, and as a result of that, I just heard Spirit say that this is what's going to help you in the long run. There's something so unique about your message. Is like, this is bringing me to the paranormal. I just heard that this may be like an obsession. That's so fucking wild, you guys. Look what's at the bottom of the deck. I am like fucking like not even... Okay, you guys, I'm getting a channel. So this is the channel that I'm getting. I feel this is the presence of a person who has passed on. This is the presence of someone who has passed on. This person is going to be different for each person. This is going to be different for everybody. So apply this as it resonates, or take it with a grain of salt, whatever you feel you want to do. But for whatever reason, this just feels like, it feels like this person, this ancestor, this person who existed is leaving you a clue, has left you a clue. It could be something inside of a book. Like if you turn to a page, you'll see that there is a clue there. Or there was a note or a message that was left. I'm seeing like a treasure box, but this treasure box was of something that belonged to someone who passed on. When you go into this enclosed thing, this enclosed box, if you open it, you'll find there the missing link, the missing key. This is the key that will help you unlock the door. This is what will help you lock the door. This is a spirit that wants to cross over. This is a spirit that needs help crossing over and needs your help to cross over. There's something about guilt and shame. I just heard write the letter to help them let go. And that's all that I'm getting from that. Okay, that completely interjected the reading. I want to apologize, but I can't, because that's what came through. Okay, so I'm going to start to... This moon card, I'm telling you, like, there's something about this moon card, and it's bringing me to a crossing over of some sort. Like, I promise you. And it almost kind of feels like once this thing... Okay, so let's just say, for example, if this is not a literal spirit, for some of you guys it may be, right? This channel is a spiritual channel. It is what it is, right? But let's just say, for example, if this is not a spirit, for some of you guys, this thing that is trying to cross over is something that needs to be buried, something that needs to die in order for it to transform and be what it needs to be, if that makes sense. And once you bury this thing, once you bring peace to this thing, it could be of guilt, it could be of shame, it could be whatever. That thing that hasn't been that hasn't been resolved yet is what's causing the blockage to keep you from transforming. That's keeping you from this thing. And so it's keeping you from the resurrection, because for some of you guys, you feel dead. You feel like if you're dead, but you're not. You're quite alive, and I speak life over you. But you may feel depleted of life. You may feel dormant, or you may feel still. You may feel cold. You may feel like you don't have the warmth that you need to survive, really. I just heard the words lights out. You may feel that like lights out for you, but Spirit is saying that this is not your forever reality. This is something temporary. This is the time that you use this coldness, this quiet, this death-like state in order to tap into your internal void, tap into your internal to bring new life, to be resurrected, to be born again. You're in a space where Spirit is like, I need you to leave, to rest the person that you were, in order to help yourself transform and to be reborn. This is the reason why Spirit gave me the vision of a phoenix rising. That's the reason, because a phoenix rising, you are born from your ashes. You are born. You are burned, completely burned, purified, and when you come out, you are reborn. You have transformed into something that is your highest embodiment, at least for the time being. And that is the reason why. And Spirit is also saying that the reason why this is going to be possible, it is possible, and it's going to happen, is because your heart weighed against a feather, and it was light as a feather, because you have a heart of gold, and you have a heart of compassion, and you have a heart of love. And because of that, that is what's going to help you propel, move forward, and transform. And you are going to be a solidified embodiment of love, of compassion, of whatever. That's what you're transforming into. So at the time of the new moon in Aries, Spirit is saying, I want you to show up as that person, as that thing, as that embodiment. I want you to show up as this force, because that's what you're transforming into. And that's the version of you that the world needs to see, and that's what's going to be your best, I don't want to say your best asset, but that's going to be your unique individuality. That's going to be what the world sees, and they love that, and Spirit loves that for you. And I'm hearing like a round of applause. Like, that's what this feels like. I feel like you have seen the unseen. You have been in a space of coldness, of quiet, of a barren land. You have been frozen over, and Spirit is like, it is time for you to now have new life. It is time for you to be resurrected. It is time for you to be reborn. The parts of you that you put away because you were traumatized needs to come out again. Spirit is asking you to go deep within the grave and pull that up and resurrect that. That's the reason why we have here the skull. That's why the skull that's why you chose that. It's time for you to take back what you put away, what you buried because you thought that it wasn't needed. No, that's needed, and it's always been needed. You put it away for protection. Now it no longer needs to be protected because it is protected already. And you've done the work. Now Spirit is saying, go back to that. Go back to that person, that sweet, amazing, vibrant, loud person that you were. Bring them back out, because now you're going to merge that with who you are now, with your discernment, and with loving, I can't even say it, with loving, guided understanding, divine understanding from Spirit. You guys know what happens when I stutter, I'm channeling. So that's what this feels like. That's exactly what this feels like. Like, it just feels like there was something buried underneath a pool of water. And it was cast, I don't know why I feel like it was like cast away. It was because of loss. It was because of loss. It's interesting because it's like you have the Ace of Cups here in reverse, and then you have the Five of Cups. This makes me feel so fucking bad, because it's like, yo, like, you have seen the worst when it comes to death. Like, for some of you guys, your loved ones have passed on. Your loved ones, you may have experienced a recent death. That person who recently passed away, for some of you guys, wants you to, it could be within the last couple of years and it still feels fresh, or it could have happened maybe last week or whatever. That message, that masculine person's coming through saying, I am with you every step of the way. You don't have to worry about losing me, because I am not lost. I am with Spirit. I am with Spirit, and with your help, I can, and it's like, for some of you guys, if that person has not crossed over yet, your love, your understanding, your divine guidance from spirit is what can help them cross over. For others of you, this is a spirit saying, I have crossed over. I am okay. I am with spirit. I am one with the all. I am with the universe, and I am with you. I live within you. There's no need to, you don't have to grieve me for too long. I would have wanted you to live a happy life. I don't want you to suffer. I don't want you to feel like you have to miss out on life. I don't want you to feel like you have to, trigger warning, like you have to take yourself out, because I don't want you to do that. What I want you to do is enjoy life. Enjoy the life that you have left to live, because I am always with you. Don't ever feel like you're alone, because you're not alone. You guys, the message that I'm feeling right now feels so reassuring, and I just wish that you guys, I just want so badly for you guys to feel what I'm feeling. Because this is not a time for you to feel as though it's not possible for you to continue living life, because your ancestor now would have wanted you to live the happiest fucking life you could have ever lived. And I feel that for you. And I love that for you. And I think that's fucking amazing. And I am so happy. You don't have to close your life off. You don't have to close yourself off. You have the Knight of Cups here. You have the Wheel of Fortune. And you have the Empress here. Spirit is asking you to open your heart up, to open yourself up for this new thing or for whatever. Because there's someone that wants to give to you, that wants to help you with this journey. It's your turn now to cross over to this new life. I felt that. It's so funny because, listen, we have Yang here. And yes, I'm still crying, but I'm okay, you guys. I just channel that way. That's how I channel my messages. I feel all of it. Like, I feel every single little detail. So this is Yang energy here. This is you understanding that you have the power of your will to create this change. You just have to set it in motion. You have to set this in motion. With the help of your guides and your ancestors, you will get there. Co-create. Truth be told, co-create, truth be told. Your ancestors want to help you because they've seen your struggle. It's okay, my love. Like, you're going to get there. You're already there. Just surrender to that. Just surrender and know that no matter what, this was inevitable, but this is also going to, from this death state, you are going to reveal your greatest joy will be revealed. It is through this death that your greatest joys will be revealed. And not only will they be revealed, you will be able to tap into that. I love that for you guys. This second, deck number 2, you guys, I feel it all. I love you guys without a doubt, always. You may be tempted to do something that, I don't want, I'm just going to say what it is. You may be tempted to end it all, but don't. But don't. At the end of the day, it's your choice, but I will never choose that for you. Spirit will never choose that for you. If anyone needs anything from me, please make sure that you guys, you know, even if you have to inbox me on Instagram, just do it. Like, I normally don't check, but just be like, hey, you know, Cassie of Magic Eden or whatever, you know, I listened to your number 2 reading on YouTube, and I just wanted to reach out to you because of whatever. And whatever I am guided to say through spirit, I will make sure to make myself available enough to respond, especially because I don't have a major following yet. So it's easier for me to get the messages out to you. But I love you guys. I will see you guys in my next video. If you guys need anything from me, visit me on Instagram at Magic of Eden. You guys can visit the Apothecary online at magicofeden.com. And I hope that you guys have an amazing evening. All right. If you guys chose the Florida water, here's your message. I don't know why, but I feel like this message is going to be very simple. But Spirit, thank you so much for coming and being with us. Thank you so much for the love that you give, for showing up for us in our everyday lives. Thank you so much, Spirit, for just being here and manifesting yourself through other people so that we can always be guided to our highest purpose and our greatest good. All right, Spirit, what is it that you have for the people who chose deck number 2. Okay. Oh my goodness. Whew. Deck number 2 was so intense. What is it that you have for deck number 3? Because this is deck number 3. Okay. I just heard Spirit say, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and breathe. I heard something about Reiki, spiritual journey, something about mint, like a hint of mint. If whatever this is, it feels abundant. It feels abundant. All right, what is this, Spirit? The world. Oh my God. You guys. What? Oh my God. I love this for you guys. I love it. I love it. Okay. I don't know why I want to bring that up, right? But okay, so first and foremost, you guys have the World card. You have 7 of coins. You have the High Priestess, you have the 6 of Cups in reverse, the King of Cups, Death, Empress, Knight of Cups, Judgment, and 3 of Wands. This energy feels very refreshing. This energy feels very... It feels extremely spiritual. It feels very reflective. It feels very so much like, this is what my life once was. This is where I'm at now, and this is what I see. This is what I'm aiming towards. But Spirit is saying there's this element of like simply peering into the past to make sense of the now and allowing yourself to be cleansed of the impurities of the past so that when the time comes, you can expect an awakening. This feels like an awakening of some sort, and as a result of an awakening, of this awakening, that's when the abundance will hit. But your abundance is going to come when you reach a certain level of spiritual understanding. Like that, yours is going to come from spiritual understanding. Like that's what yours is. So unlike deck number 2, although you are being reborn, this is not like, it's not as heavy. It feels very light. It feels very airy. It feels very watery. It feels like a spiritual awakening, because spiritual awakenings to me are very, very, they're very emotional based in a sense. And this does feel like high connection through reflection. And I almost kind of feel like Spirit is saying for you to I just saw literally myself looking in a pool of water, and there's ripples. So that vision that I just got was like you gazing into your reflection into the water. This is you gazing and scrying into water, using water for scrying. This is water magic. This is bringing me to the element of water, and using the power of your emotions, and using the power of the sway of the ocean, the sway of water, taking the form. That, you know how water takes the shape and form of anything? That's what this feels like. You're very fluid. You're not so... This is bringing me to water bending. Like being able to really master the emotional aspect. And as a result of that, it leads you to an... Sorry about that, you guys. My camera actually ended up dying. But I'm going to go ahead and continue. I just heard the word forgiveness. Like this feels like... something being forgiven. I'm gonna light some more incense because it's about that time. So give me 1 second, you guys. Okay, you guys, I'm terribly sorry about that. So I need to also burn some Palo Santo because deck number 2's reading was so wild. But anyways, so this definitely does feel like a spiritual awakening happening. I do feel like I don't know why, but for whatever reason, this feels like, Spirit, can you please help me explain this in a way that is, in a way that helps the person listening to this? This is almost kind of like you going into the spirit realm. It's almost kind of like when you're meditating and you're in this different, you go into like this different dimension for more understanding. That's kind of what this feels like. It feels very much so like when you've reached this, I don't want to say you reached enlightenment, but I mean, or maybe you've reached a certain point of enlightenment in your life, but, and I'm not denying that, but it almost kind of feels like when you're in this altered state of consciousness, you're able to see within the intangible world, you're in the ethereal. It's like you can, it feels like you've left your body. Like that's what this feels like. And I'm being drawn to that because this judgment card is, there's this element of illumination that's happening as a result of this awakening. Some of you guys are, I just heard the word spiritual guru. You guys may be called to work with a spiritual guru or like a spiritual teacher that can help you unlock the mysteries of this and that, whatever that looks like for you. But that does feel like that's what this is. It almost kind of feels like you guys are stepping more into a spiritual role of some sort. You guys are being called to become more of a high priestess vibe, or maybe even the Hierophant vibe, whatever that looks like for you. But it does kind of feel like your intuitive gifts are being called to the forefront to help, not only help yourself, but also help the collective. This does feel like someone has reached a state where they have forgiven themselves for their past. Now, the vibe that I get from this person is that this person may have a crazy fucking past. Like, they may be, you know, one of these people that were, you know, you may have been a drug dealer at one point, or you may have been, you know, a gangster at one point, and then it's like, although those elements of, you know, being a gangster may still be there or whatever, but you've turned it around if you used it for the good. And this is not going to be true for everybody, but I'm just saying that to say that if you take a look at the past, this person may have a crazy past of like filled with like crazy shit that they may not talk about, but it's because of that that they were able to use that as fuel to change their life around. And I fucking love that for you. Like, it would be kind of like one of those, a vibe where like you would see someone with like a whole bunch of tattoos on their face, you know, walking down the street, and they walk up to you, and you look at them and they just look all fucking gangster and shit. You like, damn, like, all right. But when they open their mouth, when they talk to you, it's like you can see clearly that they are a fucking divine channel. Although they're still not want to be fucked with, they've mastered the element of duality, where even though they present themselves in that way, you know, physically, if you see them with your physical eyes, you will easily be fooled. You feel me? But if you take a look and you step into their world, into their reality, you're like, oh my God, this is so enlightening. Some of you guys listening to this makes me feel like that's you. Or this may be somebody around you. And let's just say your past may not be that. Maybe your past was filled with torment, with abuse, or I hope that this is not true, but if it is, then, you know, Spirit is saying that you've turned your life around. Your life has been turned around. You've been cleansed. This is a baptism. You've been baptized. You've been wiped clean. And as a result of that, you can expect the next phase of your life to be a lot more spiritual. So at the time of the new moon and the sign of Aries, Spirit is asking you, if you are not there yet, what do you need to do in order to live a more spiritual life? Do you need to do, you know, work on connecting with Spirit more, connecting more with your soul group? You know, maybe you're going to be reading more tarot cards, or maybe you're going to be doing something or whatever that interests you, that your intuition calls you to do, to help you really dive more into the spiritual aspect of yourself, whatever that looks like for you. For some people, it may not be cartomancy. For those of y'all that don't know, cartomancy is a form of divination using cards. So if you guys, you know, you may be doing, you know, dream work. Dream work is is divination through dreams. It's, you know, receiving prophetic messages and things like that, or whatever that looks like for you. Whatever it is. I just heard the word mugwort. This group specifically may want to work with mugwort. Mugwort is the fucking witches, like, that's our shit. Like, that is the witches fucking mugwort. Oh my God. Talking about altered states, like, mugwort can help with that. Also, even though it's very minimal, like, for some people, they're very sensitive, so it works. But, you know, for a lot of people, it may not work. You may have to use it in higher dosages and things like that. But don't Don't follow my vibes. Don't follow my advice. You follow your own. Okay. But anyways, yeah, that's definitely what this feels like. And with the Knight of Cups here, the Empress card, the Death card, I do feel like after this transition, my kids are awake now. After your transition or move, after this awakening of some sort, I do feel like you'll be able to see the world with different eyes. It's like God took your eyes out, or spirit took your eyes out. I was like, let me wipe these clean real quick because they're way too foggy. They're way too impure. Let me cleanse your eyes and put them back into you so that you can see the world renewed. It's like your vision. It's like you're looking at the world and peering through it with new goggles, with new glasses. It's like you're seeing for the first time. That's what this feels like. You are seeing the world for the first time because you're viewing it from a different perspective. You're viewing it from a higher understanding. You're viewing it with divine vision. That's the reason why the world looks so different to you now, because you tap into this wisdom that not only has helped you maneuver from your past, but it's also helping you right in the now so that your future can look like a certain thing. Even though it looks like that now, it's taking its time to manifest, if that makes sense. So that's the message that I get from you guys, for you guys. The Chariot, your willpower here. I do feel like with the Chariot coming out, it's interesting because the Chariots, these two here, these are dolphins, is what it looks like. Or no, maybe not dolphins, but some type of, it looks like it may be like a, I don't know, man. These are like fish or mammals or some shit. I don't know, but I would have to research. But creatures of the deep, let's just say creatures of the deep. And so I feel like, if anything, in this sense, it's almost kind of like you're riding the wave, but you're using, it's like you've mastered this spiritual element of emotion. You've mastered that, or you're mastering it, or that's what you can expect to master. And if you put forth your willpower, and if you put forth this energy, I do feel it's almost, I don't know why, I just heard the word telekinesis. Like moving objects, that's fucking weird. Okay, not weird, but like, you guys look into that, like Google it, not Google it, because you guys know how Google is, but you guys can look on like, people's stories of like telekinesis and things like that. It's almost making me kind of think of the movie The Matrix, where the kid was like, there is no spoon. Like, it's that kind of vibe for some of you guys too. Like, I don't know why. It's like you see the world with different eyes, and therefore are able to do things that people what couldn't even fucking fathom. And that's what makes you special. That's what makes you unique. And I think that's fucking bomb for you. Okay, let's go ahead and continue what you're reading. I feel so refreshed listening to your reading. I love everyone. I love all decks. I love everyone who chose whatever deck, but this reading in particular, just you guys, what the fuck? That's crazy as shit. Okay, listen. You got healing. This does feel like healing. I fucking love that. I love that. And then it's like the wrath brought you to healing. It's like, and it's bringing me kind of to the Chariot, where now I'm kind of being drawn to saying that, you know how you're in the midst of like a storm, like at sea, and it's like you think that all is doom and gloom and lost, but then next thing you know, you wake up and you're on the shore. The wrath of the sea, the wrath of your sea, your emotions, your emotional body has calmed itself, and now you are safe you're safe on the lands of spirit. You're safe there as a result of you connecting more with spirit, because in that storm you were called. God called out to you in the midst of that storm, thunder, lightning, all that, and you awakened with power. That's what this feels like. I don't know why. And you woke up healed. You woke up healed. I am so here for that. Vulnerable, healed, in your feminine energy. This is an element of divine feminine energy. And I also see here dreams. We touched on that. Dreams. Your dreams are starting to manifest into reality, or you're able to peer into like different timelines and pull from the ethereal and manifest that dream, if that makes sense. Because even though we're dreaming now, this is a dream in another dimension. This is in the dream. This is in another dream world. And it's like you pull power from that. Pay attention to your dreams. Also, you guys, there's codes and messages in there that you may need to hear, that you may need to apply in this life to help you out. That's what Spirit is saying. You have loyal heart. I love that for you. Loyal heart. Time for a nap. Oh my God, that's hilarious. There's something about dream work here for you guys, and I'm here for it. I love it. Dream work. Time for a nap. This is definitely bringing me to visualization and using your dreams intentionally to figure out certain information to help you along this journey. Ask Spirit to reveal to you your path. Ask Spirit to reveal to you what you are meant to do upon your awakening. After your awakening, ask Spirit to open up your eye for next steps as to what to do. For some of you guys, I do feel that Spirit is telling you that this is your time to now become, in a sense, a spiritual leader. You may have been tasked with some really hard shit in your life, but as a result of that, it's like it actually helps you connect with humanity better. Because you come from a very real experience, and because you have a very real experience that more than likely has not been privileged at all, it makes you more it makes you more digestible, and it makes people want to listen to you even more because of where you come from. And that's what this feels like. Damn, that's a message. That's a fucking vibe. Round and round. This is bringing me to the this is bringing me to the golden ratio that can be found all throughout nature. And I feel like round and round, this is also, for whatever reason, bringing me to the flower of life. This is bringing me to creation and being in tune with the universe, being in tune with everything and everyone. And I really do feel that. I don't know why that's coming through, but it is. But with Loyal Heart, Time for a Nap, and with Round and Round, I really do kind of feel like your mission, your calling, is being of service to humanity in a way. And because you are loyal to the universe, this is how this is where your loyalty lies. Your loyalty lies in the hearts of the universe, if that makes sense. And time for a nap. Don't forget to rest. Don't forget to take some downtime. Don't forget that your dreams are revealing information to you that you may need to help you within the next journey of your life. I love you guys so much, and I really want to thank you guys for listening to me and, listening to me ramble. Of course, with deck number 3, you also do have here, like I said, your Florida water, your Florida cologne. I'm hearing Spirit say work with the water element and also work with your Florida waters. You may want to create a spray for yourself for protection. Protect your aura, you know what I mean, as you go out and into the world. Make it like a cleansing spray. I will be making some of those and making them available in my shop, but that's later on. So anyways, I love you guys. If you need anything from me, you guys can visit me online at magicofeden.com. You guys can also follow me on Instagram at magicofeden. And if you guys need anything from me, just make sure you visit me there. It has been a pleasure. It has been an experience, and I love every single last one of you. I hope that you all have an amazing evening.